Hello and welcome to another video, and I hope you've all had a good Easter break. I got a few bits done around the house, although never quite as much as I'd like to get done. I mean, there's only so much you sort of can get done, or can get the impetus to deal with that without thinking, well, before you start thinking, it's a nice day, so nuts to this, I'm going to get some fresh air. A couple of things a few things I'll cover in this video. A couple of things at the start, which are sort of what they call first world problems, which things that don't really matter, but things that just sort of do get on me tits a little bit. Why is everywhere closed on Easter Sunday? Supermarkets and supermarkets is one thing, but I knew that. God, about 20 years ago, I think I went to Asda, thinking, "Oh right, I'll get the shopping done for the week," and it's shut. Everything's completely shut. I'm like, why? And I know it's bound to be like a religious thing, but obviously not going to go into all that. But I can't see why this country isn't particularly religious. The UK isn't particularly religious. Or certainly, sort of English people are not religious. Obviously, there'll be a lot of religious people in the UK, but there's not that many people who are just into religion to the point where you think, oh yeah, let's shut all the shops. That seemed like a really good idea. I can understand it at Christmas Day because everyone's meant to have sort of better things to do on that day. But Easter Sunday just seems like a really odd thing to do. It's not like you're going to be sitting about thinking about chocolate instead. I mean, chocolate's a part of it, obviously. So I wanted to get some paint from B&Q. And you can see just from the website here, they got 3 for 2 on all interior and exterior paint. And I wanted to get some, just a little bit of paint just to go on some areas of, just to touch up the paint on a wall. I mean, quite frankly, I've just bought some little tester pot paints just to sort of see how I go. I mean, quite frankly, the amount of painting I need to do, and sort of having a look online and seeing how much a tester pot of paint can cover, I think pretty much it'll be all I need anyway. It's just like a sort of one coat Dewberry, and that's all I need. Anyway, so I ordered that on Saturday. Was thinking I'd pick it up later on Saturday because you can do click and collect within an hour. And then I got a phone call soon after saying that it's not quite ready to collect because even though the website said they had 3 in stock, and it's 3 for 2 as you can see, they only had 2, which is neither use nor ornament. When you want to buy 3, and it's 3 for 2. So they said, we'll order the other one in. It'll come tomorrow, i.e. Sunday. And the person I spoke to said, and I'll give you a ring. So, it's great. Fantastic. Probably won't do it till Monday, the painting. And anyway, I'm going to look at it next weekend, I think. Especially since I've not got it, as we'll come to in a minute. Anyway, got to Sunday when I woke up, didn't get any phone call, tried phoning up, and it just kept sort of, every time you click the button, I want to talk to a human, it just cut off. I was like, what? What's going on with that? Anyway, then I looked on their website, the B&Q website, and it actually said they're closed on Easter Sunday, at which point I realised. Even though there is a website called Opening Times or Opening Dash Times, and I looked on there and it said B&Q Sunday 17th of April, open the usual sort of 10 to 4 time frame during the day. Obviously not open during that time of the day. So that's a pain in the backside. But yeah, why is everywhere shut on Easter Sunday? And another first world problem, Uber. I was out in town the other night, just very very late to the point where the bus is sort of in that in-between phase, and I'm thinking, do I wait for a bus? It's going to take ages. You can't go and get anything to eat in B&Q because there's a certain time of night where you can't sort of go and kill time in there because it says, we're going to start cleaning soon and we're not going to let anyone in for another hour and a half. I'm sorry, it doesn't take you an hour and a half to sort of give a restaurant a quick clean. When I have been in there during that time, they've never done too much cleaning on it anyway. I think they just don't want people in late. So I had to get a taxi because the buses weren't coming anytime soon. And so Uber, it's either that or there was like one, big expensive taxi, like a black cab, wanted 30 quid. I thought, well, no, I'm not paying 30 quid. Uber ended up being about 15, 20 quid or something. But just trying to select the thing on the app, and I gave it my, all my details. Well, it had all my details anyway. And then it just says, oh, now connecting to a driver, connecting, and then it didn't connect at all. And they just threw me out. I'm like, what? So I didn't get anywhere with that. And then one time it did connect to a driver, and I thought, oh yeah, he's coming, and then no, nothing came at all. It just chucked me out again. Anyway, eventually I did get one, thankfully, and I got back home. But Christ, what a bloody mess! Absolute bloody mess. So I've got all the way into this video so far without mentioning the Intellivision Amico, and no, I've got no Amico news. There isn't any Amico news. They're going bust. It's gonna happen in due course. So yeah, the next topic is just, well, I'm not going to say what the particular video was about. If you want to see, you can go to his channel. But Rambling Man had a video which brought up 10cc's I'm Not in Love. So I don't want to see people sniping at each other when I watch all the channels. But obviously it doesn't really matter what I want because it's going to happen anyway. But anyway, the 10cc's I'm Not in Love came up, and it's a song I've not heard in a little while. And he used a version which was I've since seen this. There is a shorter version available online. It's just under 4 minutes. The full version is 6 minutes, and it just kind of I remember on what was it, Pick of the Pops. I think it was Dale Winton when he used to present it. The late great Dale Winton. He obviously did all the chat sort of on his own, and then someone else put all the music clips in later on because he made no reference to it. He certainly wasn't doing it live or even talking and then playing a piece of music, then talking and playing a piece of music. He obviously just came in, pre-recorded all his chat, and then let someone else do all the hard work later on. And they just kind of the line. Which line is it? Oh God, I've got a thing on the screen of. I don't want to play the song for get a copyright claim, but it's the ooh, you wait a long time for me, dee 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 dee. Ooh, you wait a long time, doom doom do do do, and then that bit comes round again. But all of a sudden they just had that bit the once, and then it bang straight onto the next bit. So they made a horrible edit there. This is on Radio 2, just to try and cut some time out, because obviously the program was overrunning because it's a long song. They must have been trying to cram in the long version. So they just made a right bloody pig's ear of it anyway. And it just reminded me, a few years ago, I was dating a woman who, she liked museums. There's a Stockport Museum amongst the market. I've obviously not been for some time, but it's kind of a little bit difficult to. We didn't kind of realise where it was. It's kind of just down like a sort of side street. But the lower ground floor was set out to highlight Strawberry Studios, because Rambling Man also mentioned this. Strawberry Studios, based in Stockport, where I'm from, and there's lots of there's a number of bands who've recorded at Strawberry Studios. It's not there anymore, as I understand it. In fact, but basically the point is that they had a whole floor set out to Strawberry Studios, and there was a load of stuff in there, and so that shows when they started and when they stopped. So it's obviously not still there anymore. So anyway, so what I think I'll do is I'll make a video putting all my pictures. So I've got quite a few pictures from Strawberry Studios. The thing, it's from like late 2017, because when they put out the ground floor to something, they keep it there for a year and then they move on to something else. Not quite a whole calendar year, but just like sort of, I think it's from sort of like was it like sort of late January one year to late January the next, and then they swap over another one. So maybe it's just sort of, get past Christmas and then refresh it with something else, rather than trying to change everything over at Christmas time when everyone's obviously a little bit busy. So yes, I think I'll do that. I'll make a video. If anyone's still watching this far, you may soon see a video where obviously that's going to have, I think I'll put 10cc's and Not in Love on that, so obviously that'll get a copyright claim, but it's if anyone's missing Tommy Tallarico, so yeah, you'll be able to hear that there. And I remember also around that time when I was going out with this lady, she talked about another museum we went to see was the Imperial War Museum in near Salford Quays, not far from Salford Quays. They had loads of stuff to go and see there, and it's pretty much free to get in. But if you're presuming it's still the same from when we went, if I say this is like about towards the end of 2017, there's a car park there, and it's technically you pay £5 for the car park, but £1 goes to the car park, and the rest is like a donation to the museum. So you're donating to the museum, so that's fine. And then so one of the videos they had was this protect and survive thing. What to do in the event of a nuclear war. I mean it's hilarious. I'll try and remember to put a link on the description below. But it's like talking about making an inner refuge, and I mean these are the things. But obviously we've got what's going on with Russia, and I won't get into all that here, but it really seemed possible at the time, and especially after watching Threads in 1983 on BBC One, it actually seemed possible this could happen. They just dropped in that drama. They dropped the bomb on Sheffield, and it was just so these videos talk about even sort of creating an inner refuge, probably in the lounge, so you're sort of like in the middle room of the house or something, and just try and put a mattress up against the wall because that's going to deflect everything. Close your curtains. Yeah, that'll help. Apparently it can shield part of the radiation, according to some of the comments in the video I'll link to. But yeah, they do that, but then they show in Threads when the bomb hits, it just wipes out whole blocks of whole sort of streets full of houses. So you might be sat there in the lounge, huddled under boxes and a table and your mattress and all the rest of it, thinking you'll stay there for 2 weeks. How you'll get 2 weeks of food down there, I don't know, and protect it all. But yeah, no, there's no way it's not going to last. It's not going to last just 2 weeks, especially if radiation fallout comes along. But yeah, anyway, if the whole street gets wiped away, you're done for. So yeah, it's not really going to happen. It's not really going to help, is it? You may as well, in reality, you may as well just go outside and stand and kiss your butt goodbye. Yeah. And then we'll just finish with this. I'm watching all the 1992 Top of the Pops, so that's where they're up to at the moment, around about September '92. We got to Tasmin Archer, went to number 1 with Sleeping Satellite, and it was a good song, but I prefer this as one of the follow-ups. I mean, as is typical of the radio stations at the time, probably still now, in fact. But to be honest, I've not listened to the radio since about 2014. But when Arienne, I'm not going to try and sing, but basically when this came out, the radio stations were still sort of playing. Well, they could never play anything but Sleeping Satellite, so any sort of follow-ups you had a real tough row to hoe. It was really bad. I mean, looking back, I see this one was from August 1993. Sleeping Satellite, as I say, was from September '92. And there are a couple of songs in between, but her first single, Sleeping Satellite, went to number 1, and all the others. I mean, Arienne went to number 30, but before that she had a number 16 hit, a number 26 hit, and afterwards a number 40 hit, and then it just whatever that was, just disappeared. So yeah, it would be a pop star in any, I could say these days, but in any day. I mean, And also, just looking around the time, it must have been around 2010, 2014. My dad used to come over and do my hedge um, because he liked to do that sort of thing. At one point, when well, obviously when we had the family house a long time before my parents split up, he used to do all the gardening and things like that. And then he got to the point where he was living in an apartment, didn't sort of have a garden or anything. So on a Saturday, we would both go out for lunch. I think I mentioned this before. But he would then, on the Saturday morning, he'd want to come over and do my hedge. Great. Yeah, I didn't want to do my hedge. I'm not one for gardening, quite frankly. I've got a gate that needs fixing as well, but also all sorts of stuff needs doing. I've got a gardener coming at the moment who started, so he's going to finish soon. So yeah, it's much easier to just get someone to do it. Much easier. And anyway, so Dad used to do it all, and used to come over on the Saturday morning. I'd have all the hedge trimmer charged up and whatnot, and he'd do that, and then we'd go for lunch, and Bob's your uncle. And yeah, I'd take him back to. I think he lived in Sale at the time, so he'd get the tram. Well, yeah, he'd just get the train. There's no tram in Stockport anymore, so he'd just get not for a long time. So he'd just get a train over to Stockport and then walk up to the house and so on. And we'd go from there. I'd drive him back to Sale. We'd go for lunch around there and drop him off back at his apartment. But yes, also I remember there's one time we went before instead of having to go to Sale one day for lunch, we went to the Jolly Sailor in Stockport. If anyone knows the Jolly Sailor, it's been a long time since I've been there, and so this would be around about 2010, 2014, and Arienne came on the jukebox. So I presume the brewery put these music things together because it was just a random selection of songs. It wasn't. It's unlikely to be the staff putting these song choices together, especially when you've got years ago I worked in almost 30 years ago I worked in a Little Chef, and they supplied tapes to play to customers. So I expect the same would happen with the brewery that Jolly Sailor's affiliated with, or whichever one that is, I can't remember. Yeah, out of the blue. So around 20 years after it first came out, Arienne came on. And that's probably the only person in that pub at the time who even remembered that song first time round. That was quite nice. And then there's another time, just I'll finish off with this. Another time I was at the Jolly Sailor, and we sat down, we were having lunch, and this is the weirdest thing ever. There was a couple of guys at the next table. So middle-aged guys. I was probably in my 30s. I would have been in my 30s at this time, I guess. And maybe a bit younger. And the guy just said, was it 30s? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been my 30s. There's a guy said, are you Dom Robinson? I'm like, DVD Fever. I'm like, yeah. And I can't remember what does my head in. I can't remember how the conversation went from there. In terms of what was that going to lead to? I remember thinking, is this going to lead to some sort of job or something, or some sort of opportunity? But I just remember chatting very briefly. I can't remember what his name was, or why he spotted me, or I don't know why someone. I've never had that happen. No, never had anyone come out and say, are you so and so from this website or this your YouTube channel, whatever. Never happened. Because I'm certainly not famous or anything like that. But he just came out there. You, Dom Robinson from DVD Fever, and I'm like, yeah. I just wish I remember how the conversation went from there. I mean, whatever it was, certainly never led to anything. I've certainly never become a international star or famous or anything like that. So whatever it might have led to can't have been much. But yeah, just completely random out of the blue. And he was just sat in the next booth to us. So we could have gone to any pub any day. Well, it would have been a Saturday anyway. But we could have gone to any pub on that day, and we just happened to go to the Jolly Sailor, and we just happened to sit in that particular booth by the window. Okay, so the booths were the biggest sets of seats, and that's the place most people are going to gravitate to. But just bizarre, complete coincidence. I just wish I could remember what went on from there. But yeah. I've just realised this thing has Arienne listed twice, so the two tracks are the same one twice. That's bizarre. Anyway, that's enough rambling for this video. Let me know any thoughts you have about anything I've talked about in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all the notifications, and cue Genesis.